Hello Ramen Nation, Chris Cobain here, bringing you another Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle. In the last video I showed you guys an RU tier battle talking about an RU tournament that was coming up on my stream, and in this game we have the same kind of thing going on. I'm running an RU tier team with some very cool Pokemon. I like this team a lot. My opponent, as you can see, not running an RU team. That's completely fine. I don't force my opponent when I'm battling like this to go down to my tier. They can kind of run whatever they want. So, taking a look at the teams, I have Jolteon, Ryu-Nicholas, Rapidash, Gastrodon, Tangrowth, and Escavalier. Escavalier is actually one of my brand new Pokemon. I just bred him the other day. He's a really cool Pokemon. I like him a lot. He can be Assault Vested or Choice Banded. Either way is just fine. This one actually is Assault Vested. On my opponent's side, we have the Yanmega, Tangrowth as well, Conkeldurr, Slurpuff, Clawitzer, and Snorlax. So there's some big threats on this team for sure. But the first thing I'm going to notice when I go into this is that he has no immunity to electric, meaning my lead is easily going to be Jolteon. My opponent, thinking that, leads off with the best possible counter to Jolteon, which is going to be Snorlax, who's going to be a fully specially invested Pokemon, so for sure. So my easy play here is just the Volt switch out. Unfortunately on this team, there's not a whole lot I want to switch in on Body Slam. I could do Tangrowth, but I want to keep his HP at maximum, especially I don't want him to get paralyzed when he has to deal with that Slurpuff. Could be Escavalier, but I'm going to need him for Yanmega, so instead, I go into Ryu-Nicholas, so I don't think I'm going to need too much outside of this, so thankfully no paralysis on the first shot there. I'm going to be able to outspeed, get a Psyshock off, and then I'm going to go down to Crunch, which kind of shows Assault Vest. I know the Conkeldurr is as well. I don't know if it's a second Assault Vest or if it's just running a purely offensive set. But that Psyshock is all I needed. Ryu-Nicholas does his job there, which is going to allow me to go back into Jolteon and just fire off a straight Thunderbolt, which is going to be one of the biggest threats to Jolteon out of the way quickly within a couple turns. I'm okay with Ryu-Nicholas going out of that. I didn't super need him for this matchup, so. In comes Conkeldurr this time. I'm going to be forced out here. Obviously, I know this is Assault Vested for sure, and I don't want to take any hits on Jolteon if I don't have to, so I'm going to switch out, go into Tangrowth as this Conkeldurr goes ahead and goes for Drain Punch, excuse me. Does a good little chunk of damage, but not enough to scare me. Tangrowth beats this all day, so. He goes for knockoff this time. This is the thing I like about Tangrowth so much. Knockoff doesn't threaten him at all. The Big Root is a really cool item to have, but if I lose it, I'm not worried about it, so I'm going to get a pretty easy Leech Seed off there, which is good. And now at this point, I can just kind of start to wear him down with a Leech Seed Giga Drain combo. So just to get a little bit more health back, because I know this thing's going to be rocking Ice Punch, I kind of want to have my HP as high as possible before taking one of those. So I'm going to protect up there as he does reveal the Ice Punch. And we're going to be back around 75%. So at this point, I don't know if predicting Giga Drain or what, they're going to switch out into Yanmega. I kind of figured that was going to be the play, and I wasn't worried about if he stayed in, because locking off the Assault Vest is a big deal. So I went for knockoff. Going to get it on that Expert Belt, which is good. So like I said before, this thing I know is going to be rocking Giga Drain, which is going to make my Special Wall Gastrodon pretty worthless. So my best wall for this is all day going to be my boy Escavalier. Like I said before, he is Assault Vested. He's going to eat up these hits like a champion. And I know I can take him out. He doesn't have really anything he wants to switch into an Iron Head or a potential Mega Horn. So I know he's going to be forced to stay in here. I'm going to go in Iron Head. Because I'm not banded and Yanmega has a pretty deceptive physical bulk, he pretty easily lives that. He's going to get one more Air Slash off on me, but that's completely fine. Flinches play nice here, and I'm going to get the knockoff to take him out. Big kill. That thing was a giant threat for sure. So at this point, he brings out Clawitzer. Now, this was a kind of interesting play in the matchup. He's going to go for Ice Beam here. Now, I stayed in trying to sack, really. But the Ice Beam, as I'm going to go for Mega Horn. Now, I don't know if that was a prediction for Gastrodon or what, but either way, I do live. I'm going to almost kill it in one hit, and that's going to force him out, showing probably a choice item of some kind, but he's going to have to switch out into a knockoff, and I'm going to take off this Conkeldurr's Assault Vest. So, kill the Yanmega, cripple the Clawitzer, take off the Assault Vest. Gearfried in his YouTube debut does a ton of work. But like I said, though, I'm pretty sure based off that switch Clawitzer choice, that's gonna become a big deal later on in the match, as you're gonna see. So I can just bring out Tangrowth thanks to Regenerate, back up at max health. I no longer have an item to knock off. He's just gonna go for Ice Punch. That doesn't worry me at all. When I'm at max health like this, I know that there's no way this Conqueror is taking me out. He has to catch me when I'm at lower HP. So set up that Leech Seed. There's not even really a reason to protect now. I don't even have to knock off. Excavator saved me that. So now instead of worrying about that Salt Vest, I can just freely Giga Drain myself, or Giga Drain away here on this Conqueror and wear him down. So this becomes a little bit of a stally point in the matchup because we're just kind of waiting for something to go down here. There's something, you know, there's plays he could have made. Could have switched into the Tangrowth, maybe could have sacked the Clawitzer or something. But didn't want to play any kind of risky things here. With its HP that it had left, you know, it was dead to a Thunderbolt, it was dead to a Flare Blitz. It couldn't kill Tangrowth, so it was almost pointless at this point in the matchup, so might as well just leave it in and let things go. Now this is what I want you guys to pay attention to here. I'm going to get this Leech Seed, he's going to barely survive. Now what I like to do in this situation, just to avoid any excess damage, is that Leech Seed kill him by protecting here. So I protect, and he's going to die to Leech Seed. Now, you guys got to remember that when I'm doing these battles, these are live on stream, so during the stream, as Conkeldurr goes down, I am not just focusing on the matchup, I am also focusing on the chat itself. I'm talking to my viewers, saying hi to them, talking about the matchups, talking about whatever they're talking about, and I'm not always fully invested in the battle itself. So what happens? Because I believe he's choiced, I want to scout his choice item, I go for Protect. Why? Because I forgot that I protected to kill the Conkeldurr. It fails and I die to Ice Beam. Now this is a huge problem. I have no idea what I'm going to do to stop that Slurpuff now. I am able to get an easy revenge kill on this Clawitzer, no big deal. There, it is going to go down to that Thunderbolt, but I really have no idea what I'm going to do when it comes to that Slurpuff in a minute here. So he switches out to Tangrowth, Leech Seed, knockoff or something coming here. I don't care either way on my Rapidash. I want to keep those specs on Jolteon, and you'll see why here in a minute. So that Leech Seed miss on the first one kind of sucks. I'm going to be able to get a Flare Blitz off here. That's going to take him down a little over half damage, and he is going to get the Leech Seed up on this turn. And this becomes a pivotal point in the matchup as well. Just like mine, just like my strat I did against the Conkeldurr, this Tangrowth, because it knows that after another Leech Seed recovery here that it's going to be able to live a second Flare Blitz, it's going to protect. Now, like I said, now at the amount of HP it's going to be at after this Leech Seed, it actually lives a Flare Blitz. This ends up becoming a misplay, and I'll explain to you why here in just a second. So after that, Flare Blitz goes down, it's going to take him down into the red, but not quite enough to kill him. And then after the recall, I am in prime position to get destroyed by whatever attack Tangrowth decides to use. He goes for knockoff, and down I go. Here's why it's a misplay. This allows me to kill him with Jolteon. The reason this is a big deal, Slurpuff will not be able to Belly Drum in the face of a Specs Jolteon. However, Slurpuff, since that is a Scarf Rapidash, would have been able to Belly Drum in the face of that Flare Blitz. You gotta remember, you gotta do 75% to Slurpuff over that, because if you do like 60, the Citrus is going to kick in and it'll get that Belly Drum off anyway. If it would have let the Rapidash kill Tangrowth, it would have been able to Belly Drum against the Rapidash. As you can see, I barely any less damage, and I think it would have been able to Belly Drum. But knowing Belly Drum's not going to work, instead they just go for Drain Punch, which is the right play. Unburden still kicks in there, and they're going to be able to take out my Jolteon with a Play Rough, even at plus 0, really. So it's down to 1-on-1. I haven't even brought out Gastrodon yet. Turn 1, Slurpuff just goes right for the Play Rough. Big deal is that I live it with well more, especially after leftovers in half. And Scald's going to do just enough to be a 2-hit KO for my reset. So at this point, Play Rough's not going to kill. Scald will, so Slurpuff goes for Drain Punch. Fantastic decision. Really, it gets him in range to live a Scald, and trying to put me in range for that Play Rough, excuse me, death. I get another Scald off though. It does not burn 2 in a row, but I would not have it any other way because I actually wanted to see how this last turn was going to go down. Play Rough comes through, and I clutch it with 6 health, barely. And I'm going to be able to Scald it one last time to take out the Slurpuff there and make it a very close, very, very close 1-0 victory in favor of me. 6 HP, doesn't get much closer than that. Like I said though, you know, plays like that, that's actually more common. I don't know if I've ever shown a moment like that on YouTube before, where I kind of forgot where I was in the battle there. But that stuff kind of happens more than you think. You know, like I said, you're not 100% in the battles when you're doing these because you got to focus on the chat. You know, I'm trying to say hi to people as they come in, talk to them. People are talking to me. I'm trying to talk back. So sometimes, you know, you just forget. And in between the time that I protected the kill the Conkeldurr and the talking, and when the Clawitzer came out, my mind said it's choiced. It's got to be choiced. You know, protect a scout to see what it does. And I just completely forgot the way I'd kill that Conkeldurr. The worst part about it is I didn't even need to protect to kill a Conkeldurr. I could have just knocked off or so he wasn't gonna kill me. I just did it just because, just to save myself one more Ice Punch or something, you know, or one more Drain Punch or whatever, and it ends up costing me Tangrowth, which I thought at the time was the end of the game. I didn't think I was ever gonna be able to stop that Slurpuff, but because Jolteon did just enough, there, the Belly Drum wasn't able to kick in. There was no way Belly Drum was going to happen, and it allowed me to pick up a very, very narrow victory by the skin of my teeth for sure. So, anyway, guys, that's it from me. So thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to watch a video. As always, much appreciated. If you did enjoy this matchup, make sure you do me a favor and hit that like button at the bottom of the video. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube, you can also do that as well. It'll give you alerts every time I upload a video. I upload one at least once a week or so. And if you have not checked out my live stream, make sure you do so over at twitch.tv/xchriscobain. I stream it 6 days a week. So you always got a chance to come in and say hi to me, maybe get a battle with me as well. But that's it for me, guys. So I will check you guys out in the next video.